Hello, Simmers. We're back. Some more Cocytus River Rats Draft Glory franchise mode in FHM 11. And in the last one, we went through the year 9 season, which was by far our best run so far. We had 117 points on the regular season, and we got to the second round, losing against Toronto. So here's hoping that this year is going to be even better. And the 2032-33 Stanley Cup champions are the New York Islanders. This is their first championship since 1983. They went through New Jersey, Tampa, Pittsburgh, and Toronto in the finals. All right, time for the NHL awards. For the Ted Lindsay, it is Jack Hughes of the New Jersey Devils. He has 95 points on the season, 36 goals. For the Art Ross, it is Leon Draisaitl of Edmonton, 57 goals, 101 points. Maurice Richard also goes to Draisaitl. The Lady Bing goes to Jordan Gavin of Chicago. He has 30 goals, 84 points this year. He had 111 last year. For the Bill Masterton, it is Clayton Keller of Utah, 21 goals, 51 points. And then the Mark Messier Leadership Award goes to Cameron Schmidt of Montreal. And he, of course, is not even an alternate captain. He had 35 points on the season for them. And then the Jennings Trophy goes to Pontus Bergstrom of Vegas. Looks like this was actually his first NHL season. He had 41 wins in 52 games played and a .928 save percentage. Wow. For the Hart Trophy between Roman Andreev, Jack Hughes, and Connor Bedard, it is Roman Andreev of your Cocytus River Rats. There you go. For the Conn Smythe, it is Noah Dobson of the Islanders for 23 points in 24 games played as a defenseman. For the Calder between Franz Karjalainen, Mikhail Fanenko, and Pontus Bergstrom, I think it's going to be Bergstrom. No, Fanenko gets it with 57 points in 74 games played. I would have thought it was Bergstrom with the save percentage he had, a .928 save percentage and 41 wins. And 5 shutouts. So I personally would have given it to him. And for the Norse, between Axel Elofsson, Aiden Bouchard, and Zane Perrick. So 2 of the 3 are from your Cocytus River Rats. And it goes to Aiden Bouchard with 78 points in 82 games played. And for the Selkie, between Lee Shergo, Joel Farabee, and Will Smith, it is Lee Shergo of Vegas with 60 points. For the Vezina, between Tobias Orchovsky, Pontus Bergstrom, and Michael Chamber, it is Pontus Bergstrom of Vegas. We saw his stats before, .928 save percentage and 5 shutouts. For the GM of the year between Brad Treliving, Craig Cunningham, and Steve Plow, it is Craig Cunningham of Vegas. And for the Jack Adams between Pascal Vincent, Chris Higgins, and Martin Jelena, it is Chris Higgins of the Vegas Golden Knights. So Pascal Vincent, runner-up for the Jack Adams Trophy, but he unfortunately does not get it. All right, so let's see some of these signing deadlines. You have Chingguo, Tuomainen, Tanaka, Staritsky, Reber, Olofsson, and Mamich. I think I'll sign Mamich, Olofsson, Tanaka, and Chingguo. The rest can get released. Now, mind you, Alex Olofsson is a different player from Axel Elofsson. They're both defensemen, though. So that's good. If they both end up on the roster at some point, that's gonna mess me up. Yeah, see, you got Axel Elofsson and then Alex Olofsson. And then I think the rest of these guys that are currently upcoming FAs are either just going to be qualified or released. In Wormald's case, he's just going to be released, but all the rest of these guys are just going to be auto-qualified. And here's our 2032-33 season summary. We reached the playoffs, had a winning season, winning percentage of 600 better. We finished first and met our objective. Longevity bonus of 8, total season score of 37, total career score so far of 151, 7 available points. I think I'll just get discipline as high up there as I can, up to 18. What's going on here? I'm in the middle of re-signing coaches, and it says Rod Brindamore is still our offensive coach, even though we do not have him as a coach anymore, because we fired him from being our head coach before. And it seems Brad Larson does not have a role either, so I assume that's supposed to be Brad Larson's role. Yeah, it says Rod Brindamore is unemployed, but it has him here on the offensive coach slot. So that's certainly very interesting. All right, here we go. Time for the draft lottery. We are once again not in it, and that's a good thing. So at number 17, you have Edmonton, followed up by Toronto, Anaheim, Ottawa, Calgary, Buffalo, Winnipeg, so Vancouver moves up, Minnesota, Nashville at number 9, Washington, Florida, the St. Louis Blues at number 6, so the New York Rangers move up. Then you have Dallas, Winnipeg, Philly at number 3, the Rangers at number 2, and Vancouver at number 1. All right, so we're in the draft here. There's not really much this year, it doesn't look like. Best player is a 4-star potential in Nather. And then you have 2 3.5-star potentials in Burkadal and Kanadawat. Then you have a few 3-star potentials, and then everyone after that is 2.5-star or below. So not a great year for the draft. However, I do think I want to move one of these goaltenders here. I'm thinking it's going to be Mamich, who I know we just re-signed, but I think we could probably get a bit back for him here. So let's take a look around for a team that needs a goaltender. This is this is very interesting. You have Mamich, the 1-star goaltender, 4-star potential, who's 22 years of age, by the way. The rights to Murniaks, 24 years of age, 2.5-star ability, 2.5-star potential, has not played in the NHL for 3 years now. And when he did, he wasn't very good. A 3rd and a 7th for 4 first-round picks. It's wow. Yeah, that's I can't do this. This is too, if I really wanted to fleece the computer, I could absolutely do this, but I'm not going to. Let's remove that first round pick there. So even just Mamich and Murniaks still gets us 3 first round picks. Even still, this is the fleece of all time here. I mean, like I said before, I was expecting that we were going to be able to get quite a bit back from Mamich, but not quite this much. I was not expecting this. I mean, it's not like draft picks from this year are too valuable anyway, right? I mean, it's a pretty weak draft. So in reality, that first round pick in any other year is probably more like a 2nd round pick in terms of value. I'm just trying to justify it in any way I can here. Let's see, where's Columbus picking? I think that would be pick number 13 right there. Because I think Calgary had a much better record than Columbus, so that's their pick there at 28, at least from what I remember. Let's see. Yeah, Calgary was 49, 28, and 5, and then Columbus was 40, 36, and 6. Yeah. I mean, this is a great offer. This is a fantastic trade, and at least for me, I'll give them the rights to Pike here as well. Then I'll also give them a 6th and a 7th, because I can't imagine I'll be using those anyway, at least not in this draft, based on the depth that we're seeing. So Mamich, Murniaks, Pike here, a 6th and a 7th for 3 first-round picks. Then again, we've proven in this save file that 1-star goaltenders are perfectly capable of getting it done. They are. Especially goaltenders drafted by us for some reason. So you know what? I think that is grounds for an acceptable trade. So Mamich, Murniaks, Pike here, a 6th and a 7th for 3 first-round picks. Offer trade finalized. There it is. So let's simulate up to our pick at number 13. And there is 1 3-star potential left in Joseph Patox. He's a defenseman. I do like his strengths and weaknesses. He's got a lot of good strengths there. Unfortunately, he does not accept change well at all. And he is a little prone to controversy as well. I don't think he's a bad option, but I'll keep looking. Yeah, this really is not a strong draft here. Even at pick 13. I think out of every player, I like Akanayev the best because he's the most NHL ready. 1-star ability, 2.5-star potential. I do like his offensive ratings. Physical ratings are good as well. Determination's at 15. So he's got the makings of a good NHL player for sure. Strengths and weaknesses are pretty good. He is a little injury prone though, but I do like his personality. So we'll see if he pans out, but I think Akanayev is the best pick here for us. So welcome to the Cocytus River Rats, Yerbalat Akanayev. And we'll simulate up to our next pick at number 29. And there are 2.5-star potentials left in Brewer and Bombach. Brewer's got the 4-star consensus, whereas Bombach only has the half-star. So, you know what? Even if it's just for the trade value, I think I'll take the goaltender, Klaus Brewer. Welcome to the Cocytus River Rats. Oh, but he did only have the AD scouting grade, so that's unfortunate. But then again, so does Bombach, so I guess neither of them really were great picks. But actually, what was Akanayev's? AC, okay. All right, pick number 37 now. We're in the 2nd round. I think I'll take Yaroslav Zuhar here. He's got the intangibles as a defenseman. He's ready to learn, so I like that. He's a good skater, pretty good ability to read the play and has some hockey smarts, and he's got a decent personality as well. And for this point in the draft, I think that's all I can ask for. So Zuhar, welcome to the Cocytus River Rats. And on to pick number 62 now. We have 3 2-star potentials left. Only one of them is an AC in Max Mueller. I think I also like Andrei Ushkov, who's the 3-star consensus potential. He only has a 1.5-star team scouting, though. Strongest part of his games is intangibles. Skating ability is a positive. Stamina is well above average. Pretty good on-ice vision. And none of his weaknesses are a serious liability. And under his personality, his pressure is his middle name. He thrives on it. Fairly loyal and isn't known to be particularly dirty. So I see a lot of things that I like there. So I think we'll be taking Andrei Ushkov with this pick. Welcome to the Cocytus River Rats. All right, on to pick number 93 now. And there are no 2-star potentials left. I think with this next pick, we'll be taking Roger Kumar. Strongest part of his game is his intangibles, pretty good stamina, fairly durable, good skater, decent on-ice vision, and even the worst aspects of his game are still relatively strong. Personality, he enjoys the spotlight and his performance reflects that. He does not let criticism get him down, and he gets along well with everyone. And in terms of his attributes, nothing's too crazy. His determination's up there at 16, temperament at 19. But at this point of the draft, you can't really expect too much. So Roger Kumar, welcome to the Cocytus River Rats. And now we're on to pick number 95, a couple picks later. And there's really not many guys here I'm interested in at this point. Although I do like the scouting report in general on Daryl Leatherwood. Strongest part of his game is his playmaking ability, strong hockey sense, above average skater, above average stamina. Coaches report that he's willing to learn. Physical strength is above average, and none of his weaknesses are a serious liability. And the bigger the game, the better he performs. So I think we'll be taking Leatherwood here with his pick. At round number 4 now, I think we're just going to start taking players based off names because there's really not much left at this point. I think we're going to take Yu Boyu. He actually does have quite a few good strengths with playmaking ability, outstanding skater, very good stamina, and fantastic vision. And his personality is pretty good too. So Yu Boyu, welcome to the Cocytus River Rats. And round number 5, this should be our last pick as we traded our 6th and 7th. I think I like Marco Wagner here. He performs better under pressure. Strongest part of his game is playmaking ability. He has decent on-ice vision, and none of his weaknesses are a serious liability. So Marco Wagner, welcome to the Cocytus River Rats, and that should be it. All right, good. Lavrov came down to $800,000 for 2 years. That's what I was waiting for. And inducted to the Hockey Hall of Fame this year are Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, Alex Pietrangelo, and Sergei Bobrovsky. All right, good. Hakansson's coming down a lot. He was at like 4.6 before during the start of the offseason. Now he's down to 2.3, so I'm going to try to take him down a little bit more. And I got him down to 2.2 for 3 years. All right, we're at the end of the preseason, and this is our roster heading into year number 10 now. In goal, you have Kadachev and Frolov. On defense, you have Bouchard, Pellizzari, Krivenek, Elofsson, Baxter, Hakanson, and currently injured is Kotijarvi. So we're going to have to figure out what we're doing after Kotijarvi comes back as far as roster moves, because we're currently at 23. That would put us at 24. And at forward, you have Andreev, McKenna, Stenberg, Spelkvist, Vananen, Neuenschwander, or Carlson, Hermanson, Anisimowicz, Denoye, Wotherspoon, Zerker, Frollo, and Kapustin. Lavrov was claimed at Carolina. I sent him down to the AHL. I thought he would clear. Yeah, that's unfortunate. All right, Kotijarvi's back. So now we're going to have to send somebody down here. And I think that's going to be Frollo. Yeah, he only has 2 games played so far this year, no points. 54 games played last year, only 4 points. Yeah, we're going to send him down. Okay, so we're at the trade deadline here, 34, 28, and 5. I'm not sure how that happened, to be honest with you. We're 8th in the division, and we are 19th in the league. So we're currently below the playoff line. So let's take a look at the player stats and see what's going on here. In goal, you have Kadachev in 39 games played with a .909 save percentage and a goal saved above average of .94. And Frolov in 35 games played, also with a .909 save percentage, 3 shutouts, and a goal saved above average of 1.41. So goaltending, not as good as it usually is, at least as far as Kadachev goes, but still respectable. And let's see, skater-wise, you have Andreev with 72 points in 67 games played. Then you have Spelkvist with 55. Bouchard with 48, Stenberg with 45, McKenna with 44, Vananen with 43, Baxter with 42, Neuenschwander with 39, Denoye and Elofsson with 31, Hermanson with 30, Wotherspoon and Orr with 26, Pellizzari with 23, Carlson with 16, Hakanson with 15, Kotijarvi with 14, Krivenek with 12, Kapustin and Anisimowicz with 11, Zerker with 10, and Frollo with nothing in 2 games played. So now let's take a look at the team stats. Goals for per game, we are 7th in the league with a 3.46. Goals against per game, we are 18th in the league with 3.16. Face-offs, we are 24th in the league with a 49%. Not great. Power play, we are 15th in the league with a 20%. And penalty kill, we are 5th in the league with an 84.1. So I'm not exactly sure what to make of this, considering this is mostly the same team as last year, even as far as coaches go. Like, I think the only new addition, at least notable new addition, would be Zerker, because he played last year in the AHL. I can't think of any other recently added player, though. And I think the only subtraction really was Lavrov, and he didn't even play on the team last year. Yeah, we really did not have any significant subtractions from the team that we had last year, and the only new addition was Zerker. So there's really not much different about this team. And yet we find ourselves in a bit of a hole here. I mean, we're not exactly out of it, that's for sure. We're only 2 points out of 16th. We are 2 points behind LA, but still not ideal for sure. Oh, wow, look at Zelitis. He's already up to a 3-star ability, according to the team scouting. Offensive category is looking great. Defensive category even is looking pretty good as well. So he is definitely coming over next year. That's for sure. Up to 41 points already in 43 games played over there in the SML. And I believe he was our first round pick from 2 years ago. And it looks like he's grown really nice over there. So I guess there's really not much to be done here since we can't trade for players. So we're just going to advance to the end of the regular season here in this one. But we're definitely going to have to get our act together in this final stretch here, because we have not been doing as well as I thought we would, especially following up last year's performance, right? So, but before we do that, I do want to re-sign some of our players, which would include Baxter, Kapustin, Denoye, Wotherspoon, Frolov, Bystrom, Nyberg, and Russo. So Baxter, he wants 4.5 for 5 years. I will definitely give him that. And I got him down to 4.12 for 5 years. Kapustin wants 2.7 for 4 years. I mean, he hasn't really been that great, to be honest. Career high of 11 points. That's in 39 games played this year. I mean, I'll qualify him for sure, but I don't know about him as a player. Denoye wants 6 mil for 3 years. What's he been doing this year? 31 points in 62 games played. He hasn't been a bad player, but I'm not sure if he's quite worth 6 mil. I'll probably re-sign him just given the fact that, given the fact that this is drafted glory and we can't acquire players any other way than the draft. But Wotherspoon, 26 points in 52 games played this year so far. What does he want his contract? 4.4 for 3 years. Yeah, these players are starting to cost some money here. Frolov, he wants 5.6 effectively for 3 years. Actually, I think I'll hold off on everybody but Baxter. I'll just auto-qualify everybody else. At least all the guys that I can auto-qualify. All right, so here at the end of the regular season, we finished 43, 32, and 7, which is good enough for 7th in the division and 15th in the league. All right, good. So we did make the playoffs, just barely, but we did make it. So let's take a quick look at the final player stats for the season. Katachev in 52 games played with a 911 save percentage and 2 shutouts. And Frolov in 38 games played with a 911 save percentage and 3 shutouts. Skater-wise, you have Andreev with 83 points, Spelkvist with 74, Stenberg with 64, Bouchard with 61, Vananen with 55, Baxter with 53, McKenna with 50, Neuenschwander with 43, Denoye and Elofsson with 38, Orr with 33, Hermanson with 31, Pellizzari with 27, Wotherspoon with 26, Carlson with 18, Hakanson and Kotijarvi with 16, Krivenek with 14, Kapustin with 13, Anisimowicz with 12, Zerker with 11, and then Menhardt, Frollo, and Barton all with nothing. So it was close. It was a close call there towards the end, but we did manage to clinch the playoffs for year number 10. So with all that being done, I think it's about time that we wrap this one up here, because it's been a very eventful episode already, but not before, of course, I thank the channel members. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I'll see you guys in the next one where we go through the year 10 playoffs with your Cocytus River Rats.